Again, right, Zinderua leading them round then, almost at a snail's pace as he tries to bunch up the field with Andreas Batman alongside Sean Babington, blue and yellow race suit, and the red and white race suit of Ben Cooper on the second row of the grid. Not happy with that. Thomas is not happy with the start there. It wasn't particularly a flying start. The drivers know that it's not a start because when they go into the bridge for the first time, the yellow flashing lights come on, which tell them that it's a full start, so they'll be sent back round again.
Tamsin Germain well adrift of that one, and Tamsin Germain may well feel that she's been dealt a very fortunate little hand there with that additional lap. Tamsin Germain, something like 150 metres behind the last of the drivers. She wants to make her way to lap 5. And it isn't just a case of I'd rather start on lap 5 than I'd rather start at the back. It's a case of I've qualified that high up in the Masters. I want to make something of it. So Tamsin Germain at the back of the field going to get a second bite at this particular cherry.
Okay, yeah, that's possibly why Thomas on the start line just kept them all back there, because the rest of the field, the front runners, looked pretty well bunched up, didn't they? They weren't going too fast, and they were pretty much in line, I think. So Tamsin being afforded the opportunity to catch back up to the pack in the 718 kart. The Masters drivers aged 32 and above, of which we've got half a dozen racing this weekend, and Tamsin, one of the leading contenders in that championship last year, the Masters Championship. She finished runner-up to Christoph Adams, the Belgian driver, but hasn't had a good start to the season. This might be about to change for her, though. Right, are we ready for the start this time? The 9-lap race does get underway, doesn't get underway. No, I think doesn't get underway.
I think the formation was all askew there, Chris. I keep mentioning that you and we don't have access to the official reasons, but just a naked eye view of that start, it was very untidy.
Yeah, the front 3 or 4 rows weren't exactly uniformly side by side. The formation lap, the warm-up lap, those look pretty racy. So I think they know that Zinderua, we can't let him keep winning the races. It's a crucial stage of the championship. And Sean Babington, of course, is 4th in the standings. He's got to try and close the gap. So while he's not going to pick up any championship points for the heats today, he wants to make sure he's ahead of Zinderua on the grid for the point-scoring races for the pre-final. First thing they've got to tick off, though, is qualify, get through, get into the top 28 in terms of your heat results to make sure you start in that pre-final, somewhere near the front. If you can be somewhere in the top 10, you can still win a race in the pre-final. Right, apologies to our online viewers. We had a bit of internet connection drop out there, so you may have lost pictures and sound for a couple of minutes. But the good news is you've missed nothing, because we've had 3 formation laps for the DD2, and the race hasn't started yet. So this is the DD2 race. Had a couple of full starts. Zinderua is leading them around, and hopefully this time we'll be able to get underway. So haven't missed the start of the race. Welcome back on. Ready for the start of the 9-lap race, the first heat for DD2. Away we go. He leads. Sean Babington has gone through into 2nd place. Ben Cooper has followed him through to 3rd. Both of them having moved ahead then of Andreas Batman, who slipped back to 4th place. Zinderua with Sean Babington breathing down his neck as they go through turns 4 and 5 over the bridge. Downhill then, down towards the first hairpin here. Babington, last year's senior champion in Britain and in Europe, having a look at the inside there of Zinderua. Ben Cooper, the world champion, behind them in 3rd place, multiple world champion. Having another look at the inside here is Sean Babington. Last second he darts out, gets up the inside of Zinderua. Ben Cooper follows him. Derua's down to 3rd place. You got Mika Laiho up to 4th position. Andreas Batman has dropped to 5th place. Have got quite a big gap now. Back to Batman, who's running there in 5th place. Through they come then. Pollinger in 6th, Universis in 7th, Marshall in 8th, Tamsin Germain still leading the Masters class in 9th place at the split, and Deval, number 669. Over the line they come, and Zinderua keen to get 2nd place, back having a look at the inside on the way into turn 1. The door closed, he backed off out of it. And Ben Cooper holding on to the position, but he's got to be careful not to lose the 3rd place here to Mika Laiho. Of course, he's his championship rival, because Zinderua leads the championship. Mika Laiho, who's right behind him on the track, he's 2nd in the championship. The pair of them battled all year long last year as well. And Mika looks at the inside.
Goes through, Chris.
Good move that. And Zinderua might lose another place here to Andreas Batman. You've also got the 663 car to Simus Universis coming up the inside. Batman loses out 2 or 3 places. He drops back. Barry Pollinger and Marshall get past him as well. So all sorts of changes on the tail end of the top 6. It's allowed Babington and make away.
Yeah, Seamus Udovicius is not just 2 metres tall, he's got very broad elbows as well, hasn't he? As Andreas Bachmann will testify. But hey, it's a tight hairpin. What's the guy to do? I don't criticise. This is the start of lap 3, and Sean Babington having this good battle with Ben Cooper, although having said that, Ben not quite as close as he was at the start of the previous lap. The margin on screen 0.32 of a 7, but at the top of the bridge, maybe that looks as if Ben Cooper getting a little close, maybe not, 0.32 of a second, and then something like 12 kart lengths back to Mika Laiho, and Zendaru licking his wounds a little bit, and